Hi, and welcome to another installment of the Jumpin' Podcast, episode 5. My name's LoganSama, as always, joined by Kim1234.
Hello.
Hello. And Mr. ShadyK, the Mercurial. Mr. ShadyK, hello.
Hi.
Hey, Shady. Rumor has it that you actually watch Final Round. You watched the stream.
What do you mean rumor has it? Is that a surprise? I am
For the people on the inside, it's a bit of a surprise.
I'm a Street Fighter enthusiast.
So enthusiastic. It's March the 21st. Final round was last night. They capped out at 1,024 players for a major event. That is incredible. Only Street Fighter 5 can do this. And we're going to be talking a little bit about the tournament. Of course, Infiltration, to the surprise of not many people, took the first premier spots. Very solid play. There's a few surprises, though.
One of the surprises that I would like to point out is that the top eight that weren't Japanese or Korean were players that were never really established in Street Fighter 4, and I just want to say that that's pretty freaking cool. It's cool that it's very encouraging, you know. It's like in the beginning, I was a little bit doubtful because Capcom told us that rise up, the community, everyone's gonna grow. The game is going to be accessible for everyone. PC, PS4, execution. It's not that hard, but it was still the same Street Fighter 4 people, especially if you watch like Wednesday Night Fights or Next Level. But the first premiere, this is the first premiere, right?
It is the first premiere. Second event, first premiere.
Right. Yeah, the first premiere, top 8. Brent is cool. Nando, is that his name?
Yep, Nando.
And
of course, Sonic Fox.
Sonic Fox, yeah. I'm sorry, I don't pay attention to other scenes, but it was very refreshing. Because he wasn't just some random guy that snuck in, He's established. Obviously, he put in the time.
Oh, he's an incredibly, good player.
He's a good MK player.
He's a really good MK. He won Mortal Kombat, easily. I think he came out top 8 losers, but yeah, he won MK at final round. He's been winning a lot of MK. But he does really good in a lot of stuff as well. He's decent at anime, air dashes and what have you. He can play anything.
His best game is Mortal Kombat, though?
Yes, he's probably the best player in the world at Mortal Kombat X.
It's fucking awesome. Because I can tell. But since he's a champ already, you can tell by his mentality. He lost to Tokido, but he wasn't flustered. He didn't just lose before the match started. It's good stuff. I like seeing it.
If you want to find out all the results and the battle logs, we're just looking through on Event Hubs as well. He got eliminated 3-0 by Tokido. He definitely looked like Tokido said that they had a whole Topanga thing just for fun, just to learn the matchup.
I've played a lot online. I don't think he's as common as other characters, but he's definitely you can get the practice.
Yeah. And that's the cool thing about having a cast of 16. That it's definitely possible to get that matchup practice in. How that will change obviously as it expands, who knows?
How about Fangs in the States? Are there any?
Sonic
really.
Fox, obviously. Other than him,
Isn't there that other guy? He plays He doesn't play Street Fighter. He means
there was a guy called Sweet Daddy Low who was doing quite well with Fong. I don't know where he ended up finishing, but he was impressive.
Yeah. I see him. He's 40.
Sweet Daddy Goodlow, yeah, top
49.
50.
Yeah.
49, yeah. He did reasonably well. Up there with the likes of Alucard, who else? Valle, Damdai. So yeah, did reasonably well. Nerd Josh. But it's interesting that there's new faces. Of course, Goichi Go1 is not a Street Fighter player either, is he? And he finished top 8.
His Chun-Li was real clean, yeah.
Yeah,
I like.
He was the most impressive to me.
I like seeing Chun-Li's that don't drop things that they're not supposed to drop. You know,
Yeah, yeah.
air leg combos. They're not gonna miss the spinning bird kick link. Super confirms. They're not gonna miss their V trigger combos as well. It's what it's supposed to be, right?
You're not gonna do random jump medium kicks for no reason in front of your face. Hey, what
Instant
was he
jump
trying-
medium kicks into nothing.
What was he trying to do?
I don't know, man.
Slide into whiff buttons.
Which version is the one that can let you combo after? Must be
Both of them,
medium.
light and medium.
Yeah. I think they generally try and do the. It's the medium one they do sort of like an open play, right? And the light after the hop, after the V skill.
Yeah, the light one drops quicker.
Yeah,
She descends really quickly.
But that's like bullshit. That mix up though. It's like not really legit.
bullshit.
But people just get hit by it because they're not used to it yet. But yeah, I mean, a lot of people were saying that's one of the balancing factors of Chun. The fact that like she's quite execution heavy in terms of this game, anyway.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah. She's probably the hardest character.
But you know, still. I mean, what do you think about execution barriers as a way of balancing characters? Do you think that's legit? Because I think that's fucking nonsense, to be honest with you.
What do you mean? As in, like,
well,
this
like,
character shouldn't be that good, or she's really good, but you have to be really good.
It's hard, so like that means that she's not that good. Really, I think that's crap, to be honest with you.
Well, I don't think it's real because I mean, you're supposed to be able to do it. It's not like
exactly.
I'm on the other side of this. I like top tiers being super difficult to play. Like, I want to see someone better, like physically better than everyone else, you know, be able to execute with this character.
You want to see that, or is that also how you play?
Oh, I mean, that's kind of how I play too, but I don't really go for super technical characters. Like, I didn't play Viper. I played Akuma. He's a little bit technical.
Somewhat, yeah.
Reasonably, yeah.
Yeah. But
I mean, I have no problem with there being execution-heavy characters in the game. I think that's pretty cool. I don't think it balances the game in any way, or does anything to mitigate the power, because good players will put the time in to learn so that they can do the stuff that they need to do to make that character as effective as possible. So I don't think that really has any sort of balancing effect on a character's power level.
But that's what I want to see. I want to see someone. You know, practice so hard that they took this character to the potential that's meant to be taken to, right? And I want to know that other people just can't do that. I want to know there's like natural talent in people, paired with practice.
Exactly, and it's like it's nice to watch someone play and you go, okay, they can do instant air legs every time. And you're impressed by that. Yeah. That's an impressive thing. You know, they are hitting the medium spinning bird kick combo every time. They're not just ending with like EX legs or whatever easy option there is. They're getting the most out of it. And when you know that's in the game and you know that it's quite challenging to do, like I think it's rewarding to see a good player do that. Same that we're kind of impressed when, like, you know, when we're seeing Daigo parrying, you know, cannon strikes and stuff and what have you. Like, not that that's incredibly difficult, but just to be able to do it on demand as and when
under duress,
punished. Exactly. That sort of stuff, we like seeing that. So, you know, that was kind of a worry for me for Street Fighter V, that there wasn't going to be that many things that were going to go, okay, I can see that you put in hours to actually get that down, and now you can do it on demand. It's cool that there's stuff like that in the game now that is revealing itself.
Well, I mean, when a new characters come out, hopefully it'll be something along those lines, right? I don't know how technical Alex isn't very technical in other games or in.
I can't imagine.
Right?
No. I can only imagine Juri, Ibuki, and maybe Urien. Being technically difficult, but other than that, Guile
and
Balrog, not really, not so much.
Well, I mean, they can make them not technical. They can take away Ibuki's kunai. No Aegis for Urien.
Yeah.
And Jury no longer can hold a fireball. She has to just let it go.
Be interesting to see. I mean, obviously, that's another thing we'll talk about real soon. The lack of any reveal so far yet, apart from stills of Alex.
What is the date again today, Logan? What did you say?
It's March the 21st, so it's not marching off yet for Alex. It needs to be
right. Yeah.
10 days. 10
It'll
days.
be
Or the 30 seconds.
So I saw someone saying that he's coming out in Maypril. That made me laugh. But yeah, still no sign.
I mean,
so do you want to talk a little bit about the tournament? Like, how much of it did you guys watch? Because I saw all of top 16, I think. But other than that, yeah, I was sort of dipping in and out throughout the day. Yeah. So, was there any highlights for you guys in top 16? Like, what were your favorite matches, favorite sets?
Oh, dude, my favorite matches were any match with Nasser. That guy was godlike. I don't give a fuck.
That guy was on stream like 15 times, and I saw him to no times until like top 8. It was just...
You know how many times he fucking did throw Yukin? That was so sick. Like I don't care. I don't care how dumb it looks. I'm always gonna enjoy that shit.
He's the guy that he's been on Capcom Pro Talk like several times, right? Is that the same guy?
Oh really?
I don't know. And he's on Justin's stream every so often because that person also plays.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I didn't hear him. I can't tell from his accent. You know, he's wearing a fucking hoodie, so I haven't seen him enough to know what his face looks like. Sorry, I'm not racist, I swear.
He was playing the most Ragu Ryu I've ever seen in my life. Like everything was like dash up, neutral jump to bait the throw, and EXDP on wake up. And
throw, then uppercut if you try to punish the throw.
Yeah.
Dude, that is so legit. Like, I'm like, dude, that's some Mai shit. Throw you can, man. It's an option select because, like, either you're gonna get hit from their punish or you're gonna punish them for trying to punish you, right? There you go.
So why are you just gonna delay and do nothing? You're not gonna delay and do anything, nothing.
Yeah, only shitty players won't try to punish you. There you go, man. That's solved it.
Have you noticed that a lot of players are using the jump back OS? Like every time.
Get the most out of it whilst it's still there. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, it's like super obvious that's what they're doing. You can't expect them to do jump back jab on wake up. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, I think they say they're gonna fix it, but I don't think they can fix it.
Unless they do something really weird that means that, you know, the game recognizes you press a button when you're in block stun and you can't throw tech from within, like, what's the tech window? Is it 7 frames? 7 frames, right? The tech window.
6 or 6. I think it's 6. I think it's 5 throw and then 6 tech.
I thought it was 10 total. The same. I thought the total window was exactly the same as SF4.
Yeah.
They've just shifted it so the startup's longer, but the tech window is less. But regardless of whether it's 6 or 7, if they make it so that you can't tech within that many frames of the game recognizing you pressing a normal, then I guess they'll take it out. But other than that, there will be ways that people will discover of doing it. But I think it's kind of crappy, like, if you can't buffer stuff in your block stun or in your wake up timing. Like, that should still be in the game.
Yeah, that'll be in the game for sure. I think the main problem is that you can tech during your pre-jump frames. I think that's what the thing is.
Well, now that I think of it, you guys know who Banana Ken is, right?
Yeah.
He wrote up like a recent tweet, like recent as in like 4 hours ago, on how he would fix this issue.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, but he was just what did he say? Like I don't want to misquote him, but I think a lot of people have been thinking about how to fix it, and I don't even think it's really that complicated either. I just think that Capcom is very OCD about things becoming broken or not intended.
Yeah, that's another thing. Does it need fixing? It's not. You have to sacrifice ground, and
I feel that the Light Punch OS wasn't that bad.
No,
it wasn't that bad.
That one,
Yeah.
Those not the ones with where you actually whiff a move or whatever. Those are actually really hard to do. I feel like if you can execute that, you should be rewarded with the tech. You know.
And you don't really get much off of it because it's kind of impossible to do that and still chain a jab as well, and then hit confirm that into the cancel because you can't
Right.
link anything off two jabs anyway. So like yeah, if you can do that, I don't see any difference between being allowed to do that and being allowed to do instant air legs and be +1 on block because
Right.
that's crap as well. That kind of goes around the whole you get a turn. If I block you out, then it's not your turn anymore thing as well. So
Well, I mean, even with the jump back throw tech, if you want to call it tech, there's obvious counters to it already. Like, so you can predict that they're going to do it, and it's not free. Just hit them out of the air.
Yeah, it's just an evolution of the meta, right?
Yeah.
or just delay a button. Like
Yeah, we dealt with that in 4 for like 6 years. Backdash was so good, and no one really did whiff or did options like sweeps or whatever yet.
Well, I mean,
Then
even
people
if
figured it out.
even if backdashes were counterable, it was still like one of the less risky options to just backdash and wake up. So
Yeah.
what was the original
especially
topic about?
because a lot of stuff in the game like delaying buttons isn't good against characters that have got armored reversals.
Yeah.
But most armored reversals in the game aren't active until like the 3rd frame, right?
Yeah.
Apart from like Birdie's EX
Yeah.
tap, whatever, bull something or other, bullshit.
There are
whatever
none
it's called.
that are active on the first frame. I can't think of any.
Yeah, Birdie's
Naniga's-
EX tap
in
is
V trigger.
no normally his EX the hold down one, just the EX one, and then in V trigger the normal one is on
Yeah,
first
yeah.
frame. So Birdie's like I don't want to say the only character, but he's the only one I can think of who's got
Instant armor. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Geese parry is instant.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Best
So he
character.
can do wake and parry.
Best character in the game.
But that's got like a ton of recovery frames. It's like
Yeah.
25 minimum, right? So if you chain something and then recognize it and cancel into a whatever, he's only got 2 hits. So if he's not in V trigger. So
Well, the first thing, I mean, here's my official answer. My favorite part of Final Round was having 90,000 viewers watching the game that I love.
Shook.
90,000 people weren't watching Street Fighter 4. What are you talking about?
It was 80 something at least. 80, 89,000, 88,000. It was
I didn't
up there.
think.
You
up
missed the joke. It's okay.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It must be. It's cool. I said Street Fighter 4 again.
Oh, motherfucker.
The game that you love. Best Bison.
Best character.
Yeah, I thought that was amazing. You know, just seeing the views go up and up and up and up, and it was already incredible with the entrance. Like, has there been a premiere event with that many entrants in before for any game?
I don't
Like,
think so. I don't think so.
I don't think so. No.
How about Evo? Evo is what? I mean, let's say last Evo for Street Fighter 4.
the last thing for
20,000?
Street Fighter, like, yes, it had under 2,500.
Okay. Shit. man.
They sold 3,000 spots for Street Fighter 5 within like a day and a half or something. It was insane. So I've got no idea what the Evo cap's going to be. Which brings me on to another point I want to talk about. Just running the tournament. I heard. I don't want to like make any negative, disparaging comments because I know how difficult it is to run tournaments. Like, we're not in a position yet where we're like big logistics companies and event management companies. All these events are still pretty much community driven and community ran events. So like, we can't have levels of expectation too high. But I heard a lot of stories about people getting DQ'd, communication issues in terms of like when your matches were being played, and stuff, just general things that went wrong. And I just want to stress to anybody that's watching, if you're going to any of these large events, you need to be talking to the judge that's running your pool and being in communication the whole time and letting people know. Alex Jabali tweeted, and this is like second or third hand information, but he tweeted that someone went to their first tournament, final round, The judge told them to be back in half an hour to play their next match. They came back half an hour later and found out they were DQ'd 5 minutes after they left because they tried to run their game. Now, if that actually did happen exactly as I said, then I think that's terrible. I don't think that's acceptable. Yeah, I don't think that's acceptable. But I'm going to take that with a pinch of salt because I didn't see it happen myself. But it just shows how important it is. You know, if you're going to these tournaments, you're going to these events, you need to stay in communication with the judges, the people that are running your pools. Don't go wandering off. Don't, you know, like I know it's hard. I know it's difficult, especially if it's your first event and you're like you don't know how things work. But you know, I don't want people coming to the events and getting and going out of tournaments for no reason, nothing to do with gameplay, you know, nothing to do with their own play. I don't want to sour people's things. So yeah, I just want to just take an aside and just say, you know, make sure that you're in communication and you're letting the judges know exactly what's going on. If you need to go for a piss, like we all need to go for a piss, right? But let the judge know you're going for a piss and you come straight back. You know, anything like that, just make sure that you're speaking to the judge who's running your pool, and then hopefully you won't have any issues like that.
I've heard really good things about Final Round, despite never attending one ever. But I know there's passion that's behind the event. So I mean, like I always have good views about it in general. I have heard that this tournament went through some very difficult issues, but I mean, I would like to think that they were just overwhelmed by how many entrants there were, because usually it's not.
There's no way that there's no way that anyone's dealt with a tournament, you know, running one game that size yet.
And it was the first premiere, right? So it was their first experience dealing with this.
And you're dealing with like the PS4 as well, which is like not the most ideal and straightforward of consoles to run competitive games on, especially one that require you to plug in and out multiple devices.
And there was issues with.
Number of issues, yeah, exactly. I was just going to say, there's a number of issues we saw. We had the Wolfcrone Sonic Fox issue where the USB port died, and I'm really happy that they had a replay option. They reviewed the tapes because they made the wrong call in the first place, just because they saw Shin Final Round Blanca's tag on the the little pop up on the thing, and I think that was just unfamiliarity with just how the operating system of the PlayStation 4 works, and not realizing what you need to identify for who paused and what. The second thing is as well, which James Chen confirmed to me, was that they were deleting every device that was connected to the console after each match, which is really important, because that means when you get pauses, you can be pretty sure that it's nothing to do with someone on the other side of the event hall that's still got their DualShock linked to the console, pressing the home button by accident. And then the final one is obviously people are using converters, right? So, and I think this is what ended up happening in the Wolfcrone incident. Using converters on consoles is great, but that extra weight from plugging the bulky USB into the USB port, that weight pulls down the USB port, and over time it actually can cause damage to the USB port and cause it to short out. So you need some sort of male-female extension lead, so that weight is just going on the table rather than pulling down on the USB port. So just things that we're all going to learn as we go along, running events, just to get the most out of the console and to make things run as smoothly as possible. Because we don't want to see people getting eliminated from tournament because of like tech issues. That's crap, right? We don't want to see that.
That's the worst. I mean, like, they didn't travel all those miles to have that. Like, if you lose, you lose. It's inevitable. But losing to a stick issue, I mean, come on. Like, there's some people that have to take responsibility for that. One of which, if you guys already have heard, there's an announcement by the Razer CEO. I can't pronounce his name. I can't recall at the moment, but it starts with an M.
Min.
Yeah, there you go. And, did you make it?
Is it Min Yang Tang or something like that?
There's like an Liang in there, I think. Like.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, the CEO said he was saying that, like, they the cat's out of the bag now, and that the Razer players were using basically test products to see how they would fare before they put them out publicly, right? And I'm not gonna question that logic, but he also made an announcement about they're gonna suspend new sponsorships until they resolve the PS4 controller issue. Thought that was
Well, from what I heard, and this is just conjecture, I heard that they were actually using modded versions of the Aatrox, which were using old solutions, old firmware solutions, which is why they had the timeout issue.
modded as in.
Don't know, as in the PCB was modded on the inside. It wasn't like a brand new prototype. It was actually a modded stick, basically. And they had old solutions on the inside. So I don't know if you guys were familiar with what used to happen with the Cronus converter.
No.
When they updated the firmware on the PS4 recently, I think it was a couple of months back anyway, before Street Fighter 5 was released, you had the timeout issue where after 8 minutes the controller would disconnect from the PlayStation 4. I heard that was actually what was happening. So it shows you that the firmware, the solution that they were using on the stick wasn't the most recent one. So I'm sure they're going to come back and sort that out. It's not a tremendously difficult thing to do.
Well, I mean, at the time that it happened, it was like 6 a.m., 5 a.m. in Japan, so I was like kind of knocked out. So I didn't see it happen, but I read about it. Like, was it on stream and everybody saw it? Was it definitely the 8-minute thing? Did someone unplug their stick? Like I
didn't see personally,
right, yeah.
but stick failed is what people were saying, and I saw a number of people tweeting saying that they had the same issue with the 8-minute timeout. So logically, that's what makes sense to me. And as I said, that was conjecture. I said at the start it's just conjecture, but that when people are getting that timeout thing, that's what I think it is. So I'm sure, at the next tournament, Razer will have, a correct, up-to-date PCB solution inside those Aatroxes, and they'll be good to go. It's not an incredibly difficult thing to sort out, and I'm sure they will have it sorted out very soon. But yeah, it's not really, especially after Evo, it's not the greatest PR, right, in the world.
Right. Well, I mean, I'm not saying this to just blow smoke up your ass, but my favorite stick is actually the Razer stick for Xbox. The past Mad Cat sticks, they're definitely good, but they broke down through time somehow. And I still have my original. Actually, I have two. I have a beta Aatrox stick, and I have the one that I bought just from the store, right? And they haven't really failed. They've only failed when I use a different PCB on the inside, which has nothing to do with the original one, right? So like, I'm happy with the Razer product, but I'm not happy with having the stream experience, being affected by
No.
it. Yeah.
I like I mean, for me, to be honest with you, the Aatrox is so similar to the TES that like it's much of a muchness. The parts are the same. I really like the access. As the Sanwa parts eventually wear out, as they will, and again, that's nothing to do with Razer.
No.
It just makes it easier to change. You just lift the lid up, and you don't have to unscrew shit and what have you. But for me, my favorite stick's the TES. I love that. So
The gray blue one, right?
no, TES is the Shadaloo one that the Mad Cats have just brought out. That size.
Oh, okay. Not familiar with it. Cool.
You haven't seen it? Wow. Some fake Bison player you are. TES Plus. Go and look that up.
But actually, my real answer is the top 8. Top 8 having 3 U.S. players that are relatively unknown to most players. I thought that was fucking awesome to be playing. That's exactly what Street Fighter 5 is supposed to be. That is what a new Street Fighter is. Every time the game comes out, everyone needs to learn. They need to learn the game from scratch, and it's really good knowing that those 3 players that were up there, they weren't randoms. They were people that obviously put in work, and they were probably motivated because they couldn't make things happen in Street Fighter 4. But in Street Fighter 5, they did, and hopefully we see them more in the top 8. But hopefully we see more people in the top 8. Like this tournament, Flash Metroid, he's always been extremely talented, but let's be honest, he's kind of not been in top 8 for a very long time, and
Mm.
then his talent, it showed in this tournament because it showed his patience, his decision making, which is what Street Fighter 5 is all about. Like those players that kind of, because I feel Street Fighter 4 was very like tech heavy, and it was very just like the grind and whatever. A lot of Li Joe said it in our last episode. Like he was like, I just didn't want to do it anymore. You know, Relento was my favorite character, but I didn't really feel Street Fighter 4 anymore.
Yeah, that Nemo combo, like there's a lot of arbitrary work in Street Fighter 4 in terms of grinding out, like just getting B&Bs down, you know, like hours and hours of just grinding out B&Bs. I do want to make a counterpoint to that, in that when any game's new, it's going to be about decision making generally and solid play, because people haven't gone into the tech side of it yet that much. I mean, you're seeing with Chun, for example, it is pretty much about execution right now with Chun. Like, if you can do all the shit with Chun that you need to do, you're going to do better than someone else who's making great decisions but can't do the shit that they need to do, but just literally because you're giving up pressure situations, you're giving up damage as well. So, you know, it is a new game. Obviously, the people that are making the better decisions should generally do the best, because everyone's not playing at that super high techie level that we were, 8 years into Street Fighter 4. You know, I'm sure it was the same when Third Strike came out and people weren't doing some of the shit they do 10 years down the line. So it'll be interesting to see how the tech side of it does develop, because that's where, you know, I guess the individual expression comes in as well.
I think that's what all the players are thinking of. They're really having fun in the moment right now, and they think it's a good game and all that jazz. But it's really like we might kind of master the game somewhat soon. Like, you know, what's the lifespan? Like like we know the DLC plans, the blueprint. You know, like what they're gonna do. But gameplay-wise, I mean, it might be because Street Fighter 4 was like that too. It was like, okay, we're gonna expect some new characters, and then they're still going to play within the system, which we totally understood. You know, like that was never an issue. If they implement like a new system or something like that, that would be like really interesting.
Well, they're looking to switch it up like once a year, like once a season, basically, right? They're looking to make actual fundamental changes to maybe not the game system, but the character balance as well.
How about this? Like what if it wasn't like we would expect like new characters? I mean, okay, this is just I just thought of it right now, but like we would expect like a system change, like a definite revolutionary system change. You know, like that would be like, as a player, I would be much more interested in that. Because you remember like in Alpha 3, there's like Xism, Vism, Zism, whatever, right? Like you had the character that you liked, and now here's a different version of them. You know, like go some different route. You know, just not a new character every single time, because that means when a new character is released, you have less time to really go over if that character is really balanced or not. Because now you need to pump out the new character, and it's gonna just be this like vicious cycle. You know?
Yeah, but adding more versions of the same character, that's a fucking nightmare for balancing.
I mean, I just thought right now, but like, you know, if like a new DLC feature was out there, not just like characters every single month or every other month, or
pay $6 to get Vism,
yeah. Yeah, I think they really want to limit that kind of stuff. They want to be in control of what players can do, you know, which is a fine design. You know, a lot of games are like that. You know, fighting games are like an anomaly when it comes to the competitive side, where the players decide what's good. You know, the players find all the broken strategies, and then there aren't any patches, so you just have to deal with it. But now that, you know, with all the patching you can do, PC and PS4, the company, the development team has control of what the players have access to. So it's
basically like kids like playing with toys, I guess. And like, if you don't want them playing with a toy, then you just take it away from them, which is what they're going to do with the Tech Throw OS stuff. And Chun-Li, the Chun-Li OS stuff as well. And I suppose that's the interesting thing about the speed at which they can do this stuff. You know, before, you know, decades passed, they'd have to build an entire new version of the game, right, to change anything. Which was financially beneficial for them because a new version of the game out meant all the arcades had to buy new boards and what have you. But now they can be a lot more reactive. But it's a slippery slope though, because we don't want to get into that sort of MK9 realm of, oh, there's a new patch by the way, a day before Evo. Have fun with that, guys. There you go. You know, fuck you, relearn the game. So we don't want to. I don't think anyone wants to get into that situation. And that's why it kind of worried me.
Okay, sorry.
I was just saying that's why it kind of worried me in that they were patching the game already. You know, like you didn't want this stuff in the game, so it shouldn't have been there in the first place. You know, if people are finding stuff and then you're patching it out kind of on the fly, I'm kind of worried about that because I don't want them to like rebalance the game every month, you know?
I mean, in a way, they're kind of going back on their word, right? I mean,
kinda like they're not readjusting characters and stuff.
Yeah, it's not. It's like a universal thing. It's the system. They're adjusting a system. They're not adjusting balance per se. You know.
Yeah, but
which affects balance. In the game.
It does. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm kind of on the fence about the whole taking this stuff out this quickly, you know.
Right.
But clearly, I guess they definitely didn't want it in here. They don't want any of this OS stuff in here. But you know, it's how fighting games are. There will be option selects of some type in every fighting game forever until the end of the time.
Stop it. Exactly. Yeah.
So hopefully they don't. Hopefully, when whoever's is it Guile? Who's next? I don't know. Balrog, whoever's next. Hopefully, when that comes, they're not, you know, tweaking something else that we find in the next round of YouTube uploads of crazy tech from all around the world. I just want them to let the game live for a bit and let us decide what's broken or not. So,
Word, Logan. Word.
We didn't really finish talking about like our favorite games, did we? In our favorite moments in in the tournament. Kind of got off track, I guess.
Yeah, went on a tangent there.
I really liked Titani Tokido. I loved that set. I really enjoyed that set. I don't know if you guys saw that in losers bracket.
Talk about players that have their traits shine through. I mean, fucking Haitani, man. This game was made for him, huh? Like in Street Fighter 4, I think people were used to him like kind of getting their top 8 and then losing to like whoever the established top 8. But now, like, he's scary. Is he not? Like his decision making, his command grabs, are almost all landing. You know.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty fresh, and I'm sure he's very excited too. I don't know about this about Fudo using Mika though. It's very odd.
Well, I mean, Fudo and Momochi were kind of like, not to be disrespectful, but like kind of like disappointments, I guess, this weekend.
Momochi is my favorite to win the whole thing.
Yeah, and he got. I mean, did he even finish top 50?
Was Momochi one of the players that had the stick issue?
No, it was Xian and Fudo and Info. Wasn't Momochi.
No, Info wasn't one of them. I think it was.
Oh, Info definitely had a stick issue. Yeah,
it was Fudo.
Fudo, Xian for sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway.
But he got top 30 something.
He came Momochi came 33rd.
He beat Vi. That's his last match on stream, and then no idea what happened after that. Probably.
Who did he lose to in winners bracket? Because he lost like kind of
to Hugo 101 or something. Like he lost.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Nakali. I think he's Nakali. Yeah.
Yeah, that was it. I just found it kind of exciting because it was a lot more. I mean, I know the entire top 4. Yeah, the entire top 4 were Asian players, but I felt overall it was a lot closer between the North American and the Asian players.
Yeah. I think right now the gap between top players is extremely small. Like Snake Eyes is in losers immediately. Bone Chan's out of the tournament. Like these guys would definitely be in top 8. I mean, if you were a betting man, right? Yeah, and I think it all comes down to everyone getting used to the game and decision making for sure. Because now
Not only that,
everyone's nervous, like when you're near them and stuff. So
but that's how the game was designed. You have to be nervous. There's no
Mm.
yeah,
like you ever feel like so overwhelmed when you're playing and someone's cornering you. They're not even like it's hard to explain. They're not that much better than you. You know, they're like the same level, but you're still scared as shit. Like you're always under extreme stress. You know.
Did anyone notice the fact that anti-airing was fucking terrible this weekend from a lot of people?
Yeah,
Like,
I noticed. Totally
and it's
noticed.
just from like you're focusing on so much
Yeah.
that jump in, you're not reacting to the jump in time when you know in like 10 out of 10 times normally you're gonna anti-air that shit. But
Yeah, you beat it clean.
I saw top Japanese players just blocking jump-ins over and over and over again this weekend because they just obviously must have been in a situation where they were not in that comfort zone yet playing the game. They're still...
right. It's not automatic yet,
Mm.
or as automatic as it should be.
So
I think that jump back light attack, jump back jab, jump back short. I think that is the most reliable thing that you can use as a reactionary anti-air. I think that wasn't used enough.
Yeah.
You can do it neutral jump, you can do it forward jump too, so you land next to them. You might not be at frame advantage, but it's much better than blocking a jump in and eating a frame trap.
Yeah, you need that because the most like obnoxious stuff in the game is getting crossed up all day. It's like, all right, man, just quit that shit. Like,
and that,
just jump back and hit him.
That jump range where like you can't DP because you DP a whiff.
Yeah.
And a lot of characters have got sort of like that Akuma crouch fierce kind of anti-air, straight up in the air kind of anti-air. It's really easy to cross-cut DP in this game though, but
I don't know why no one does it. I'm like the only one who does it. You just walk under them and then do it. It's
DP,
really
yeah.
bizarre.
But it's just people getting used to it, getting used to new jump arcs, getting used to the new anti-air options they have. Because whilst it's superficially, it's just a Street Fighter game. It's those little subtle nuances which are what the top players thrive on, I guess. I want to give a massive shout out to NuckleDo for his performance this weekend. All things considering, he finished 9th. Played really, really strong as well. I thought that was an incredible achievement for him to do that, given the recent stuff he's been through. And I'm sure, like everyone who was there, it seemed like was really behind him as well. So I thought that was great. That was another highlight for me. What else did I appreciate? Oh, I loved PR Balrog giving his opponent tips in the middle of the match. I thought that was awesome in the middle of the set. I thought that was pretty...
I don't know if awesome is the right word for that. Like I'd be annoyed. You little fucking asshole. You think you're so good giving me tips? Eat this jump in.
I quite like that anyway. Like it's a good attitude to have at this time, like some people are like, I'm not playing on stream because I'm saving tech and I want to do this and I want my points and I want to beat these people. And like you got PR Rob's like, I just want to play people at their best, I don't want to skank people because they don't know the matchup. Like you can do this to this, I want to play like guys like F Champ playing like 700 casual games and money matches and stuff this weekend. He just seems like an absolute fiend. Playing as much as he humanly can, and that's the shit that I like to see. People that are just hungry to, get the most out of this game. Players like that are gonna elevate the level of play. And I know he's not just the only one. There's others out there, but they're just some of the examples for me that I enjoyed about the weekend as a whole. Just the attitudes of people towards the game.
I think it's very obvious who the players are that are really grinding and really hoping for that one important win. And one player that I want to give props to is Chris Tatarian. Yeah. I mean, he's always on the grind, even in Street Fighter 4 and in Street Fighter 5. Like his performance it's getting better every single tournament. It's even if he doesn't win the tournament, like you see an improvement in his gameplay. And he beat Filipino champ again. He did lose to him in losers, but I think he went. A lot of shit was going on in his head, He couldn't really handle it in that moment. But we all go through those moments.
I think you know, we were chatting as a Ken player. We were talking sort of like in our little group, and yeah, he was feeling like the pressure a lot. He was feeling the pressure a lot, but he's a really good player, man. You know, that Wednesday night fights
moniker.
arena that they're in. You know, like the that proving ground that they have every week, man. Like it definitely produces good players, and you know, Brent finishing fifth shows that as well. You know, like you know, Brent was a very accomplished player, but he up until maybe the end of Ultra, he probably wasn't like one of the top sort of three names you'd go to in that Wednesday night fights camp. But I think towards the end of Ultra, he was sort of definitely elevating himself, and you know, probably not the first Ken you'd think of out of that camp. You're probably going to think of Chris T when you think of Ken, and the West Coast. But yeah, Brent showing that he's a very accomplished player as well. So that was cool. Just like new people coming through. Like I mentioned him earlier, but like Goichi turning up and playing Street Fighter and finishing 7th, I think it was. You know, when Kazunoko didn't make top 8, Bonchan was nowhere to be seen. Fudo finished 25th or something. You know, all these great Street Fighter 4 names that we're used to seeing. You know, and this guy who's an anime player getting up there and getting top 8. I think that shit's cool.
Definitely awesome. New shit is on the horizon.
I don't think these kind of unpredictable results is going to change either. I think it's still going to be a toss-up between a lot of players. Just because the game is new, the game itself is designed to be highly variable. Like one mistake per round. That's it. You're done. A lot of times it's just like that. You like someone's next to you, you make the wrong mistake, you get crush countered, then they get a big block of V gauge. They're so ahead. It's just so hard to make a comeback.
We spoke about this on an early episode when I was talking about the variation between the results and how a game that's so read based as Street Fighter 5 is, but it's a small number of reads rather than like a big number of reads like Third Strike used to be. And when you're playing 2 out of 3, exactly as you said, you know, that one situation where I'm going to try and interrupt you with a jab. No, you're not. I'm going to crush counter you. I'm going to get 300 V gauge and a 400 damage combo, and you're in the corner as well. You know, it can have a big effect when the person only needs 4 rounds to send you to losers bracket. It can definitely have a big effect.
Yeah, it's like Marvel. so serious.
Look how quick the rounds were going. You know, it was incredible how quick they were going. I mean, yeah, we had a couple of timeouts, but in general, rapid pace.
Hey, I mean, like while we're on this subject, is there a better momentum-based character than Ken at the moment? Like, I can't think of like if I'm in the corner,
Laura?
I could really die. I can die. In, like...
Yeah, Laura for sure.
Laura and Armiko I'd put above Ken in terms of momentum, man. Like if either of them get a knockdown on you, like they're way more scary than Ken. I think command grab characters are really, really good in this game.
I feel Laura, in terms of her vortex or her sequence when she's attacking, I think it's very just like do it now or don't do it. Do it now or don't do it. I think Ken has a lot of ways to like safely get there. So in that way, I kind of feel that he's a little bit more scary because I know the Laura player has to, after she hits me, she has to go for it again or she's gonna grab me. Like there is no like sequence where I have to like really worry about like a couple steps ahead. You know what I'm trying to say?
Right, yeah. He doesn't.
So what are you worrying about that Ken does?
Well, I mean, after the kick, I don't know which is the 4th throw. I'm assuming the kick throw, and then the hit confirms into hurricane kicks. He's right in your face again. It's as fast as you think Laura's offense is. It happens boom, 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 boom. It's not as there's no long combo to like really think about what's gonna happen. You got to decide as soon as the combo's done. That's how I feel.
No, yeah, that makes sense. Like he does do a little bit better of a job of keeping the pressure on. If the first level of his mix-up, whatever, if his 50-50 doesn't work, he has another one after that. Whereas Laura, hers gets shut down if you guess the first one right? Like if you block the jab, bolt or whatever, then you can just take the advantage back. But whereas Ken, you guess right, you block, yeah, that's fine. But he's gonna start, he's gonna keep on sitting there in front of you just being an asshole, just standing in front of you, waiting
I
for you
mean,
to press
he's
something.
there, and then like you have to be aware of crush counter combos that he can react to. You can react to his fast dash.
Stand
I
roundhouse.
think
Yeah.
I think if you're playing against a Ken player that can maintain frame advantage, that's Street Fighter 5, because when so you block the initial crouch short standing light punch, and he pushes himself out of throw range, but he's at +2. That's Street Fighter 5. Are you going to
Yeah.
press a button to stop him walking in, or are you going to let him walk in and take the throw? Or what are you going to do? You're going to let him walk in and then press a button again. So that's when the whole decision-making process comes in. And if the Ken player gets a good read on what you're going to do, or makes a good guess what you're going to do, yeah, I guess you can definitely get blown up for that.
I always thought that Chris T's strength was his decision making. Like I don't know if you guys would even recall this moment, but at SCR last year, he really wanted that Ken versus Ken match against Momochi, but Momochi switched to Evo Ryu and he just beat him down basically. But if it was a Ken and Ken match, and I would put them on, I would give Momochi technically a little bit of an advantage, but they are pretty much on a level playing field. Like decision making is wild, it's off the charts. Like I would love to see that, and I think that skill really carries on over into this game. And when I think of a scary Ken, I think of Chris T. Like most people are like they go to like a Japanese Ken or something like that. Like I think Chris T is right now the most impressive one.
I really like Ryan Hart's Ken. I know he's not really been to a great deal of tournaments yet.
Does he stream?
But again,
does he stream, or is he like is he
not
going
really.
to Bracket Reset or something?
No, he lives in Germany now as well, so like no, you're not really seeing a tremendous amount. But like again, coming from that rich history of fighting games that he's got from 3S and Tekken and Virtua Fighter and King of Fighters, and of course everything he achieved in Street Fighter 4, like his reactions are incredible, which is really important for Ken because you need to be able to confirm off like single hits. But his decision making's informed by like 20 plus years of competitive fighting game play. So, I saw him dash in on someone, then backdash straight away. And as soon as he saw their throw come out, he critical art, 5-frame critical art, punished it for the round, and like stuff like that's just like it's sick. I don't see people doing stuff like that, like it's just you know how the human mind works. You know what people are expecting from you, and you're punishing the fact that they're expecting that from you. I love that stuff. That's the kind of stuff that I'm looking forward to seeing more of in Street Fighter 5. That sort of that meta game, I guess, of I know what you're trying to do, and I know that you know what I'm trying to do.
Yeah.
I know what you're going to do to try and counter what you think I'm going to do, and then the game begins. And that's the stuff I think we need to work hard on explaining to the viewer why it's sick, because it can end up looking kind of random, I think, like when you get to that sort of level of mind games. And I think we really need to explain to people what the options are in those situations and why it was good. And that's why I think things like instant replays are really important.
You basically took the words right out of my mouth. I'm smirking because I was about to say the same shit. You motherfucker stole my shit. But but yeah, I mean, like those moments are really they're really awesome to us, and we get what's going on. But to the common, I mean, like for example in Tekken, like I actually really like how Tekken looks. I think it's really exciting too, but I don't know what the hell's going on, and I don't even know if that was what just happened was really advanced or not. And I think in Street Fighter 5, the commentators, I would hope in the future they would really understand these moments and that they can because I know Logan and F Word. I mean, you guys make the effort to understand the frame data, to research, make sure that you guys memorize the frame data, make sure that you guys know what's going on. You're interviewing other players, you're playing yourself. I know you guys are on top of it, and it's impressive because you guys aren't trying to be like the best in the world. You're doing it because you're trying to inform others, right? Mm-hmm. And when I listen to other commentary, I'm not putting anyone on blast at all. I'm just saying that like I feel that
just everyone else.
No. I'm being completely serious. Like they have to do a little bit more than what they are used to doing right now. Like let's say, like because like in other sports, let's say a retired MMA fighter, retired football player or something, right? When they're retired, they go into commentary because you can trust what they're going to say because they used to be professionals, they used to be professional athletes, whatever. I think in Street Fighter, I'm just saying that the commentators have a ceiling to what they understand because that's what they reached as a player. And I'm not saying that it's impossible to get past that, but when I see something advanced on the screen and they don't point it out, I'm like, come on now, like you guys actually commentate, not for a living, but you guys do it a lot, and it's right there in front of your face, and you didn't pick up on it. If you didn't pick up on it, players that are new to the game are not going to pick up on it either.
But but you answered it yourself. They don't do it for a living.
I mean, it's FGC. I mean, we want it to happen, but it's not going to
happen.
Yeah,
to be honest with you, like nowadays, I know the pay's not amazing, but like, I get a couple $100 for commentating for a weekend, you know, which it's not my job, like, you know, and I'm not going to turn down my actual job to do commentary. I can't, unfortunately. It's not that level yet, but you know, you're still getting paid a couple $100 to sit around and talk about video games for hours on a weekend. So, like, but I feel like most, you know, like Ultra Trend's a great example. They're streaming a lot. They do analysis a lot. Right. You know, James Chen does 2 shows a week on various games, not just Street Fighter. Ultra David streams as well with him. So they're doing they're creating regular content, right? And that's the sort of stuff that I like. But it's a difficult balance in terms of commentary because you need to be informed, but you also need to convey that it's exciting as well. And I saw a lot of criticism on the weekend about like the hype levels of the commentary at certain points, and like how Magus, I love Magus, the stuff that his insight, he's got really good knowledge. I really enjoyed listening to him, but his energy levels were so low, and I saw a lot of people commenting about that, and that sort of stuff's easy to fix, you know, like let yourself get carried away
with the right person.
I mean, maybe, but Ski's decent for energy as well. I quite enjoy Ski. I don't mind him.
Yeah, me too.
But yeah, again, like that sort of stuff, I think it's easier to encourage commentators who know what they're talking about to get lost in the moment and allow them to be excited and hype than it is to get someone that doesn't understand the game and teach them to understand the game so they can be a commentator. And that's, to be honest with you, why I think F-Word's the best, because he's got a great understanding of fighting games in general, especially Street Fighter games. And he's just a natural, energetic guy. He's so much fun to work with, you know. And it's important, as we were saying earlier, it's so important now that the audiences are growing, you know, nearly hitting 100,000 for a premiere event. That's crazy. You know, the attendance is 1,024 entrants at a premiere event. The game's clearly growing, even though the sales might not have been what we hoped they were going to be, or Capcom might have hoped they were going to be for Street Fighter 5. But clearly, in terms of competitive scenes, it's still growing. The growth is still solid. It's still there. The interest is still there to watch high-level play. And everyone needs to chip in, whether that's commentators, tournament organizers, you know, stream tech guys, whatever your role in and around the scene is. The players are putting the work in to learn the game, and we all need to chip in as well and back them up so that all these new people coming in, you know, there's resources there, they're going to have a good experience and they're going to stick around. That's the most important thing, right? All these new players, we want to make sure they stay here.
Yeah. I mean, I can't say any better. I mean, I'm sure Capcom wants like actual dollar bills going into their pockets. You know, the viewer count, not a first priority of theirs, but I mean, but that's how we see it. I mean, for sure, like the first premiere of the year, and it has 90,000 people.
Look,
come on now.
Games
that's
in
awesome.
The esports world generate money because they have eyes on them. Like, you need an audience first, then you monetize the audience, right? That's why League of Legends is massive, because they've got That's why free to play is such an important thing, because you want to get that market in first, then you monetize it afterwards. Once you've got them there, they'll spend money like habitually. That's what we do for things that we're passionate about and we put time into. We spend money on it. So, making sure we retain the viewers, we retain the tournament attendees, all of that. If you're going to tournaments, you take the game seriously, right? If you take the game seriously, you're probably going to spend money on DLC. So the more entrants we have, the better it is. And the more viewers we have, the better it is for everybody. There's no downside to it whatsoever, as long as we handle it correctly. And I think, everyone seems to have like the right attitude towards it at the moment.
Absolutely. Preach on, brother.
Ah, dear. Let's talk about the end of the tournament a little bit.
Which end?
The lack
of the actual tournament?
The end of the actual whole day.
The last couple of minutes of the stream, I see.
The last couple of minutes of the stream. I don't know if we've been spoilt, but over the last several years, we're used to reveals at big events. Mm-hmm. They revealed DiCaprio, I think, didn't they, at final round a couple of years ago?
Yeah, they even had the T-shirt too.
Yeah. So, players going to the first premiere event on the brand new Capcom Pro Tour for Street Fighter V. Mm-hmm. Even though Capcom didn't promise anything, in the back of your mind you're thinking, well, it's the 20th of March. It's nearly the end of the month. They said Alex is going to be here in March. Maybe I can expect to see that reveal before top 8 or after grand finals or whatever. And Capcom never said no. They didn't say yes or no either way. So like the hope was still there. And we just saw an incredible grand finals, Infiltration Tokido, showing the possibilities of playing this game, like what high level play should look like in Street Fighter V, and everyone's on a massive hype. And then I don't know exactly what happened, like why he said it, but Infiltration said something about who wants to see an Alex trailer.
I want to see Alex trailer.
And then
nice.
and then Shin Blanca.
I thought he was here with us for a second.
Funny enough, Kim loves singing along to K-pop on his stream as well. So much, isn't that right, Kim?
Yeah.
But and then Shin Blanca said something about speaking to Haunts, and then made everyone sit down. One second. Yeah, exactly that. Yeah. It's the Rashid theme. And like,
could there be a worse song to play at this moment? Like they could have done something else. But
it was like, ha, you got trolled, ha. Listen, after the shambles of the release of this game, which let's not be, let's not pull any punches because we haven't podcast and been together for a couple of weeks. Battle lounges are fucked. They don't work properly. There's players that can't be searched because they've got fucking underscores in their name, so they can never be found unless you come across them by accident.
I didn't even know about that. Okay.
There's players that cannot invite anybody at all on their account. Rage quitting is a legit fucking tactic. Doesn't matter if they bump a couple of people down. Fucking World Combo lost 10,000 LP. He went from 10,000 down to 700. He was right back up within 4 days. It's
Jesus.
irrelevant. It's irrelevant. So it's not a good experience. There's no content in the game for single player. The store's not up. There's so much that's wrong with this game. So many things wrong with this game. As a versus head-to-head experience, it's fucking brilliant. As a competitive endeavor, spot on, great stuff. But as a finished game, it's a shambles. So to do that, after we've just had such a positive experience watching two incredible players battle it out at the first premiere event, it just deflated the whole experience for me, man. That sucked. And I don't know who was responsible for it. Like, I don't know whether that was like a joke that the guys were gonna in on and they were gonna do, and they thought it would be good fun.
I don't think it could have been planned because that
It
obviously
fucking
was the
sucked.
wrong decision. Yeah.
It fucking sucked. I'm not gonna lie. So
And you know, like whatever. Let's say 80,000 people were watching. Like I remember seeing the stream number like 10 minutes later. There was still like 30,000 just waiting for it. Like,
Jesus.
and I was saying like if they're not gonna reveal it at 80,000, they're not gonna reveal it now. And then they
No.
played the Alex theme song from fucking Third Strike. I mean, come on.
Jazzy NYC. Yeah.
I still associate that with Ken, but you know, Alex wasn't really good in that game, so whatever.
No, it's true.
So wasn't there a public backlash at all on Twitter? I didn't notice.
Oh yeah, there was like a lot of people tweeting.
Was there a response, like an official response? Because that's kind of
Probably not.
So
disastrous, right?
yeah, there wasn't any positive response on Twitter from people. No one thought, ah ha ha, well done. That was really well done.
I mean, what can I say, man? Like
if it's not ready, he's not ready. That's fine. Do you know what I mean? Like he's not ready. But like
it was like
trolling
it was
when so much shit's gone wrong. Please.
definitely unneeded and not well timed at all. And it would have been great if they actually revealed it. Then then it would have been all swell, and we would actually be praising Capcom right now. But I mean, Capcom has to be aware that people are not very high on them right now, and if you put 2 and 2 together, sure, they're going to reveal it next week at NCR. You know, it's going to
You think, but that's the same assumption that we made here. Like,
sure.
like it's the first premiere. It's near the end of the month. Like, reveal him, and then he's out next week. Like that makes sense, right?
He'll be out already, though, wouldn't he? Unless we're actually talking about the 31st.
32nd, son. Told you.
32nd, yeah.
It's not March enough yet. It needs to be March.
April.
The Marchist.
Gotta add in some more March real quick. Hold on.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. Like
Capcom's
I
in
know.
NorCal. Capcom's in NorCal. It's NorCal regionals. I mean, it's not that long of a drive to Sacramento. It's only 2 hours. So
Just a bit more communication. Do you know what I mean? Like, and it goes back to like when the game came out, and we're getting like apologetic tweets from Ono about, oh, we're sorry the servers aren't working. We're going to work really hard on it. Like, we don't want apologies. Like, we just want actual communication. Like, just be straight with us about what our expectations should be, because like when we get our hopes up and you crush our hopes, or like we get let down, that's when sentiment is bad. You know, when you be honest and straight with us, yeah, Alex, we're still working on him, plus we're still working on the fixes, so we're not going to announce anything yet. You know, it's kind of weird that they had the picture leaks of Alex, right. And like Orts wrote that article about how Alex's V trigger and V skill works last week, and then that's why people are expecting a trailer. Like, you had pictures and you had an article last week. So we're going into this premiere, the first premiere event on the Capcom Pro Tour, which is the reason why the game came out unfinished. That's why you put it out so early. So you could get it on the Pro Tour, you could get those sales in for the financial year and all that stuff. That's why the game's not finished, and you put it out, you rushed it out. We're aware of that, we're not stupid. The Capcom Pro Tour is so important. People are thinking, yeah, it makes sense. You're going to reveal him at the first premiere event, right? There's 1,000 people there. There's nearly 100,000 people watching. What a great time to reveal this character that you've clearly got footage of, because you've taken stills of him on the stage. Like, throw together something. Fuck, they had a Cross Tekken fucking trailer 2 years before the game came out.
Oh, right.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
Comic-Con.
It's kind of weird. But then, I guess if he'd have not said anything and there had been no troll at the end, there'd be no negative sentiment, because at least we'd say, like, you didn't promise it, you didn't get our hopes up, right? There was no hope. But like making everyone sit down and get ready and, we trolled you, ha ha ha, there's no trailer. Like you said, there was 30,000 people sitting around. Not because I don't think it's because they believed they were going to play it, but they were like probably like in stunned fucking, like, this isn't funny. Like, you must be joking. Like, you're going to play it now, right? You're going to play it now, though, right?
Yeah.
Obviously. You're going to play it now? No. Oh no, you're going to play Jazzy NYC theme and then turn the stream off.
Yeah. Now I'm getting upset. Just thinking about it. Yeah, just thinking. Yeah, that was like a record-setting tournament in viewership. Why wouldn't you have a trailer
It's
for
just
it?
shit, yeah. Man.
I mean, but there's things that they could do to like minimize this response. Well, first they don't do that troll in the first place. But like, why not release more Alex pictures throughout the week, like 2 times a week, 1 time, just like something like keep in touch with.
Well,
with the
SNK
consumer.
Playmore put like pictures up every day, don't they? Right, that's their thing. They have a daily,
Yeah.
they have daily pictures of Kings of Fight of 14. If you want to watch, like, if you want to look at pictures of iOS games, then you can do that. But you know, Capcom, I don't think is super great when it comes to like PR stuff, man. Like, I mean, we already had the Lupe thing, which admittedly got a lot of press, but we didn't think that was a good call either, right? You know, like having your most famous ever player lose to a rapper who's like picked up the game for a week. It's not the greatest of decisions either. So, fucking who knows, man.
How about other game companies? Like, do they go through? Is this a regular struggle? I mean, there's always struggles, but I mean,
Yeah.
League of Legends or something. Do they
Yeah,
go through the same
yeah.
thing?
Riot has its issues, but it's like they're not as bad. I don't know. It's hard to say. I mean, they're so big now. They have like famous people doing stuff for them. Like they have Imagine Dragons at their Worlds, you know, doing a concert for them. But when they do have any kind of like little drama, it's just because they're such a huge company and there's a lot to complain about, right? Like there's millions of players, so people
do
just
they reach out to the players?
yeah, for the most part, I
customers?
think. Yeah, I don't follow that closely, but I think they do a pretty good job.
I
mean,
think-
Blizzard's famous for like missing dates and shit. Like I know that as well.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
And I know Riot have issues with their reveals and character releases and stuff as well, but that doesn't mean that it's okay to do. You know,
Of
like
course.
they can afford to do that because they're fucking enormous and they're making a shit ton of money, so people
Right.
will still take it anyway. Capcom haven't got a shit ton of money. They had a shit ton of money. This game would be on Xbox as well because Capcom could have afforded to develop it themselves without getting money from Sony. So, you know, like, I don't know. It makes no sense to me. I'm still gonna buy Alex when he comes out. I'm gonna give him a go. I'm hyped for Alex. I think it's gonna be good.
We're true fans. We have a podcast about fucking Street Fighter. So,
Yeah.
so we're gonna support Capcom. We're gonna give them money, but I mean, we have the right to say like, what you guys are doing is basically like unacceptable. You know, it's like things could be better, and you guys know it, and you guys still miss deadlines. And what is this game that we have in front of us right now? Like,
Right. We're ranting because we care. That's
Yeah.
the bottom line, right?
Yeah, of course. I mean, like, we just want to see it do well, right? I want to see more stuff happening like this happened this weekend in terms of the numbers and the great play and, you know, the viewer count and all. I want to see that stuff. Do you know how cool it was to like open up my Twitch app on my iPad and see the Street Fighter fucking picture on the
like
front?
top 10 or whatever.
Yeah, it's like
Oh, yeah.
the top viewed games. Like that hardly happens, you know? Like it was exciting for me. I want to see more of this. Like I like that, you know. And I've personally seen like games like Counter-Strike grow over the last 2 years to be, you know, to go from like there or thereabouts to be one of the top 3 esports games. So it shows that it's definitely possible that that growth can happen at that level and speed, but you just need to be intelligent about it and make the right decisions. So that's that. What more can I say? I don't want to sort of kind of bang on and be negative. Like it was just kind of fucking. It was a dumb decision.
Well, I mean that's why it's important that
It
we.
deflated me after a great set, and it kind of soured a little bit, you know, my experience, and made me go to bed last night like feeling frustrated rather than fulfilled at watched a great tournament. I still feel fulfilled about having a great that's lasting. Like The disappointment from the Alex troll is fleeting. That's gonna go, but like, don't continue doing that shit because it builds up. You know what I mean? Like, don't continually make bad decisions because we remember that shit. You know, I want to remember the great experiences, the hype sets, the moments from the Pro Tour that, you know, had everyone going sick, you know. And if you keep trolling people when your game's not working properly anyway, it's not going to be a good result.
Not at all. Did you actually watch the entire tournament in one sitting without an app? Because I tried to do it. I think I got into like 4 a.m.
No, I went out after, like, I think I went out between top 64 and top 16. So I wasn't for that. Didn't really catch all of that.
Well, I mean, once I have the time, I'm gonna watch Kazunoko versus Mago because that's the one I'm most curious about. Because I use Kemi myself, and in my mind, shoot, Kemi should just steamroll Karen. So Mago must know some stuff, or Kazunoko must have just not played well, or
Kazunoko was letting those DPs fly, man. Like all weekend, he was letting those DPs fly, and Karen's damage output is very serious.
Karen is 2 combos using EX plus 1 additional attack, or is it 2 combos? Sorry, to get a stun.
I don't know. I don't think
one.
None of us play Karen.
I don't know anyone that can stun you in 2 combos in this game.
I think if she uses EX in both of the combos, it's a stun. Therefore, the third combo, which is already like scaled by a lot, like it doesn't do that much. But I'm pretty sure it's 2 hits because I saw Mago do it a lot. Maybe it's a jump in or something.
Usually, it's 2 combos and a throw.
Yeah. I was saying Mago was my bet.
They've been pretty good. Like you notice that when you try and in training mode and you look at all the combo follow-ups and what you can do, they're all generally around about the same, regardless of what juggles you go for. And they've done that obviously by design so that you're doing like, you know, 280, 290 damage off a good combo each time. So that you've got to open them up. You know, you got to open them up a legit 3 times to actually close a round out. But Karen's damage output, man, like when she's got that full EX bar. I mean, you saw it with Justin Wong. Who was it that he played?
Taitani.
I can't remember who it was, and he just landed the crouching medium, and you knew as soon as that crouching medium landed, that was it. That round was done. And he had like no life. I can't remember who he was against, but yeah, it was Karen's damage output's pretty impressive. I think kind of the same with Laura actually. Like a lot of Karen players are getting away with stuff based on people not knowing the different follow-ups and having answers to the follow-ups to the wreckers, and when she's in V-Trigger, what's punishable, what will beat multiple options and follow-ups. You know, if she goes for the grab or the slide or whatever or the backdash, you know.
What is the counter to both of those? Because I obviously know the counter to the slide, which everyone goes for, but admittedly, I get grabbed whenever they go for that.
So what you can do is, it depends on who you're using. You want to stay crouching, right? So you want to do two crouching jabs. It depends who you're using, though, because I know with Laura, it's really hard to punish all 3 versions, but you can cover all 3 versions if you do it right. You just have to practice it.
Just the timing of the jab, yeah. You can jab her out of the slide.
Yeah, you can jab her out of the slide, and you can jab her. You can just
press the crouching button. She can't grab you as well.
Right. Yeah.
Well, like for example, like if she doesn't follow up with anything, or what is she on block?
-4, I think.
-4.
Yeah.
Okay, so a DP.
Yes, I got something right.
We can talk about that too, by the way.
And I know, like with Ken, for example, if she does the backdash, I can critical art that as well. That's minus quite a fair bit if you've got the range. So yeah, but obviously nothing will beat every follow-up because that's the point of having multiple follow-ups.
Yeah, but it's also a Hail Mary move to begin with. So
yeah,
Kinda.
There's kind of that going on as well. Like, don't want to give them too much to play with from doing.
I think her best feature is the shoulder, the -2 shoulder.
Yeah. And
You just do-
the spacing is good too, right? So
Yeah, the spacing is very good.
yeah.
And then when you want to press something, she EX uppercuts you.
Oh,
100%
the
of
Shido
time.
tech, yeah?
Yeah.
I think Karen is the most like she's gonna stay consistent out of all these characters. Like how good she's really good now, and she's gonna stay really good. Like other characters might be better. We might figure out how they'll be later on down the road. But Karen's gonna stay consistent because everything she has is legit. It's like there's no
Yeah, that's true.
there's not much gimmicks going on right now except for the fucking Hail Mary move.
Same with Ryu. I think Ryu is in the same boat. He's
I
always
think
gonna be
Ryu's
good.
only going to get better. I think
Yeah.
Ryu's only going to get better, to be honest with you.
Yeah, especially when people learn how to parry more often.
I think especially when people realise to activate Denjin as fucking soon as possible, so you've got third strike parry as well. Like,
Talk about Shanghai versus Cian. Is that what you're talking about?
activate that shit, man. Denjin is
What was that
shit.
about? What was that about? Just like it looked like he's never played the game. And he just knows how to play Ryu.
It was impressive though. It was impressive until the very end when Cian Street Fighter 5'd him with the most like obvious overhead, like Black Eye. Ah, come on, bro.
I
Yeah,
didn't get to see Cien on stream at all, I don't think, this weekend.
He played
out.
early on.
Yeah. Who did he end up losing to? Do you know?
the stick and
I forget.
Essentially, by Razer, yeah. Who eliminated him? Where did he finish? Did he even finish top?
tough love. That's all.
Razer
Wait.
giveth and Razer taketh away.
He finished 33rd. Along with Graham Wolf, who I didn't see anything of as well. Graham Wolf and LPN both finished 33rd. What happened there? Like, those guys were meant to win everything, right? Early boards.
Well, actually, out of all the players, I'm actually curious who Graham lost to, because he was talking.
He was
a lot
using
when I was in NorCal.
he was using Chun as well.
Yeah, no Vega, huh?
Oh. Pick a top tier. Let's see if I can find it in the battle log.
Event hubs.
Yeah,
Hey,
I'm
did you
on-
guys watch?
it's right now.
I find
Did you
event
guys-
hubs is the little like the record of who played and stuff. I don't think it was on point this weekend. Like it was just because it was at the third to last pool for like a long ass time, and I had no idea what was going on up until that point. Sorry, I was just ranting. Go ahead.
Oh
I
no, I'm
can't
just gonna.
find it on here. So
This is asked if you guys watched Ryan versus Wolf Crone.
that was awkward to watch, man.
I watched it for a bit, but then after like 8-2 or 6-2 or something, I was like, okay, I kind of get what's going on.
Yeah.
Because I mean, like people stuck around to like see if he could make the comeback, you know. But then I was like, oh, he's not making it.
No.
No, not in that matchup. I didn't even know the backstory until it happened. My friend told me about the backstory, and I didn't even know Wolf Crone was a big old cheater. I didn't know he was a super rage quitter online. That's funny. I think that's hilarious.
I still can't understand the mentality of that, man.
Yeah. You don't get anything. This
What the fuck
doesn't.
do you get for it? Do you know what I mean? You like that? I saw someone with a couple of people mentioned Neo something or other. Can't remember the cat person. He's a player in Europe anyway. And it's always like, yeah, I played this guy. He had a 114 win streak, and yeah, he rage quit. It's like, do you feel any sense of achievement looking at your screen and seeing that win streak, knowing that you probably lost about like 20 odd times in that win streak and pulled the cable?
Well,
What do you get from that?
it's odd because out of all the players that we're talking about someone who was once considered like the best in the country at one point. I mean, Wolf Crone, he won all the majors.
He was he was the best player in the country for that period of time.
Oh, right. He had that
No.
run against the Japanese team, right?
Yeah, there's no debating it. He definitely was at that period of time, you know.
And I must be some mental tick or something. I really can't.
I mean, that's the top player FGC for you. Like, I don't, it doesn't need explaining, but at the same time, it kind of does.
Well, Wolf Crone, that's the reason.
Yeah. Anyway, that was interesting. I didn't know that happened.
But yeah, NCR next week. I know a lot of the top players are hanging around for it. Info and Cian are going to be there. I know Cian's going to the house with F Champ. So he's going to be there doing some sets. Hopefully they stream a bit. I'll be looking forward to that. Is NCR a premiere event?
Yeah.
Or just a ranking? It is.
It is.
It must.
Yeah, it's weird. 2 premieres in a row.
2 premieres,
Yeah.
in the space of 2 weeks. Crazy.
So for sure, Alex is coming, man. Don't worry, he's coming.
I hope so. He must be. You know, like,
Does this mean we're doing?
We're doing
Does this mean we're doing another recording?
We're doing another recording next week. Same time, same channel. Yeah. And yeah, obviously we've got more content to come. So we're going to be doing more top player interviews, courtesy of Kim as well. So make sure you subscribe, please. We've got our custom channel right now, right? So it's easy to find. YouTube.com/justthejumpin.
YouTube.com/C/thejumpin.
There you go.
The C is essential. Has to be there.
Has to be there. Channel. C for channel.
There you go.
But yeah, thank you very much. I hope you've enjoyed the content this time. We should be available on iTunes by the time this part comes out anyway. Please do subscribe to us on iTunes. Leave us favourable reviews because it means more people find us when they search. So the more reviews you leave us that are nice, 5-star reviews.
Just type in anything. Type in, I like it. I don't like it. Just type in something. Where's Alex? Anything. Just type it in.
Anything, and just leave 5 stars, and it's great. It really helps us out. As you know, we do this for absolutely nothing other than the love of chatting shit about Street Fighter. So if you can make it easy for us to do it, then that would be wonderful. We're not going to ask you for donations or anything. We just want reviews, players. Thank you very much, Kim. I know it's late where you are, right? Kinda.
Sort of. Approaching 10. But it's all good. All good.
Definitely fucking late where Shady is. What is it, like 4 a.m. in the morning or something insane?
6 a.m. I'm about to get ready for my day.
You the man.
Yeah,
I mean, for people that don't know, I mean, this is the struggle. Some people, I'm not ignoring YouTube comments. I swear. Okay, they're like, "Where's the next episode?" Okay, come on. Okay, right now it's almost 10 a.m. Shady, what time is it right now?
6 a.m.
6 a.m. Okay, boom.
For me, it's midday.
3 p.m. Is that what you said?
It's midday for me.
Midday. So I mean, come on now. Like, no matter what time of the day it is, it's going to be hard to schedule this. But
we sync up somehow. It's mad. So we do it for you guys. I hope you appreciate it. Thank you so much if you enjoy it, man. Like, shit's great. Like, we love it. Thank you for all the feedback, positive and negative. Like, we are taking it on. That's why the podcast is going to be available as audio on iTunes. So we know you guys like that all in one big chunk. And we'll try and get more stuff out regularly. And I hope you've been enjoying the L.I. Joe stuff as well. If you haven't seen that, check that out. There's the Ultra Chen stuff as well that Kim did whilst he was in the States. And we'll have more stuff like that. And of course, the guys can catch the Ubiken streams as well. Where can they find that?
Japan time, Thursday, 9 p.m. to 10:30 p.m.
On what channel?
Twitch.tv/Yubiken. YUBIKEN. It means fighting with fingers. Yeah.
And on that note, we're out. Cheers. Thank you very much.
Peace.
Bye.